Hello and welcome to this pit stop for Athens, a game designed by Sungwoo Hyun and Minwoo Hyun, coming from Baccum Games, 2 to 4 players taking around 45 minutes to play. In Athens, each of the players is one of the leaders of Athens in the classical age, and they're looking to build up their own contribution to the city and then to contribute to events over the course of a maximum of 14 rounds in order to score the most points. At the start of each round, there's a people management phase. Now, you're going to start with some people, be they upper, middle, or lower class. And then the start player for this round is going to roll up these people dice and tell you which ones are going to be free to use later on. And then you're going to be able to draw one, and you hold a maximum of 3, and they come out of a bag. And those will be the people you'll be able to use in order to take your actions slightly later on in the turn. The next part of it is the base phase. There are 7 base cards in the game, be they barley fields, shipyards, vineyards, quarries, and they will give you icons which are the beginnings of your economy, which will then use to build up and get to the part of contributing to the events. Once everyone has drafted one of these, now there's enough in there for player count for exactly 14 rounds of the game, and that's the first way in which the game will end. After the 14 rounds, all of these base cards will be gone, and then we're going to add up our points at the end. Once you've done that, everyone then in turn order, as dictated around the table, the direction will be the roll of this direction die each round, is going to be able to place one worker on a card and take the action. Now there are 3 distinct ways in which you can place workers. Firstly, you can place them on the base cards you've already taken. If I already had a quarry, it's giving me 1 quarry resource there. I could take my worker for that round, place it on it, the quarry will flip over, it's now worth 2 basic quarry resources, and it will score me 5 points at the end of the game. The second thing I can do is to come up here to these action cards. Now, some of the action cards will remain in the tableau when you use them, and some of them you'll be able to collect and take into your own tableau, as with the base cards. When you go somewhere, you block it for use from anyone else for the rest of that round, but all these workers will get collected. Now, for example, if I went to the barracks, I would need to have 2 barley fields worth and also 2 smithies worth, and then I'd have to pay, in this case, a middle class and a lower class person, which is all right, I can play those. And I'll be able to activate the barracks for one of 2 different effects. For standard, I would then take 2 soldier cubes, and they would come in, and that would be me done for my action. If I already had soldier cubes previously, when I go there, instead of getting more, as long as the space is empty, I could contribute that soldier to the barracks, going to train someone up there, I guess, and that will score me an immediate 8 points, which I'll take from the deck of victory point cards and keep with me for the end of the game. Now, a lot of these act similarly. I can go to the stables and make cavalry for myself, or I could go to Praeus Port, and if I did have barley fields and shipyards, I could then start trading in and collecting galleys. And they're going to help me because, again, let's say I went to Praeus Port and I previously made my soldiers and my cavalry. I can then trade them for silver and for cloth, and that's going to help me get my economy going. There are other things you can do. For example, if I'd gone down the line of having kilns and vineyards and olive groves, I can go directly to the trader and trade up for different cubes there. There's also the Lorry and silver mine. When you go there, as long as you pay the people, you just immediately can take a silver to kickstart your economy in one direction. Or for Delphi, that's slightly different. You can pay 1 cube to take 1 Delphi card, and that's going to score you 9 points at the end of the game. Or if you've managed to get barley through trade or going through the port, you'll be able to take 3 and keep 2. They're all going to score you 9 points, but there's a balance between happy and sad masks on these. If you have too many sad masks, you're going to end up starting to lose points. Now, those are all ones that get blocked and stay in the central tableau when you use them. However, if you come up here, you can start collecting these action cards. And when you get the village, you can put 2 of these base cards underneath and it becomes a wild card. Or go to the Ecclesia and they do a set collection, and they also let you re-roll these worker dice to change up what you can do. When you go to the Agora, again, it lets you mix up what workers you've got available to you and scores you 5 points. And also, the Agora and the Workshop are going to allow you to score more points from this pile of unique buildings. Now, they all are either simple points for having just 1 quarry, or for example, the Temple of Athena Nike is going to give you the ability as an action to get down and access these Delphi cards for those points. Whichever action you do, be it improving your base, going out and collecting cubes or trading them, or increasing your tableau of action cards, once that phase is over, we're going to go to the final phase of a round, and it's the event phase. There are 6 events available to us, and again, in player order, we're going to contribute cubes to them. Now, let's say I want to go over to the war. They're looking over here for galleys and cloth. When I put those in, I immediately score the points for them. Now, you can carry on filling up until the whole card is filled. People can put cavalry and, again, galleys in there. But whenever at the end of an event phase, the top row is completely full, Those cubes will be taken off, cubes in the bottom row will shift up, and this marker here will shift up. And each of these events can only be contributed to a maximum of twice in completion, and then they'll flip over and become unavailable. And that's the second way in which the game can end. If there are no more events available at the end of the events phase, we will then stop, add up our points for the cards we've been able to build in our tableau, our contributions to the events, and whoever has scored the most points will be the winner of Athens. This has been a Game Pit Stop. For more videos like this, check out our YouTube channel. For more in-depth coverage of games, please check out the Game Pit podcast. Thanks.